Hey traders, what's up? We got to watch this video here for Friday, May 29th. Be the last trading day of May. A couple things to talk about. I don't have a very long list to watch tomorrow. Again, I hate to be repetitive, but I'm going to be anyway because I never know if it's somebody's first time watching my video ever, right? So just real quick, as I'm going through my list, keep in mind, these are things I'm hoping to make some money on intraday tomorrow. A+ intraday setups in cash by the closing bell every night. I am a pure day trader. Do not hold overnight ever. So keep that in mind. A couple things to talk about first. I took a few screenshots, so let's see what I've got here, and I'll just go over them one at a time. This was my day today. 16 trades, 14, 1 and 1. I literally had one flat trade. Really nice day. The teamwork was fantastic. Another green dot sitting at new highs for the year in my account. And that's why I like being a day trader. I don't have negative positions undoing what my green positions are doing and so on. I try to log in and just make money, grow the account every single day. And for the most part, I do that. Let me slide this next one over. What do we have here? Oh, this was the pure play morning gapper, right? We don't, these morning gap plays don't set up that often anymore, but when they do, they're pretty profitable. And somebody in chat asked me if I always say you should be able to give 3 reasons why you take every trade. And someone asked me after this if I could have given 3 reasons why I called this over $1.50 this morning. Well, there's your opening 2-minute candle. So you basically have an opening, you have what you call a seller's fail scenario on a morning gap play, which if you go to our course page where you can buy our trading course, there's a 40-minute video taken straight out of our course that we offer for free to kind of show you this is the one setup we teach in that video. So you can go check that out. So you had a half number inflection point. There's one reason. You had a seller's fail scenario on a morning gap play. There's 2 reasons. You can't see it on this chart, but you had the pre-market high slightly above the 150 as another potential catalyst as 3 reasons. You had a high from earlier in May on the daily, not that far, like in the 160s above for another catalyst. So there's 4 reasons. And you had the 200-day looming, I think slightly over $2 as reason number 5. So I actually had 5 reasons to take that trade, and I'm probably missing some. I'm probably like drawing a blank, but anyway, this was a clean setup. I put a limit of 152 as the volume was coming in. There's a big seller at 149. I pointed out in the chat room. As that seller was getting taken out, I clicked my mouse and said, boom, I'm going to send my limit of 152. I was probably one of the last people to get filled at 149. And you can see what happened after that. It went up so quickly that we got the volatility halt. And then here's my sell. So 149 entry. These are my limits, but that's just because I usually, when something's getting upside shape, I'll just throw out a limit anywhere on my trading matrix on TradeStation, even if it's trading well above that, because you'll get a better fill anyway. In other words, I don't split hairs when I pick my sell price. So there's my limits. So $1.49 entry, out some at 204, out some at 208, out some at 227. And out some at 235. Those are the arrows are about where those spots are. Really nice way to start the day. What else do we have here? I just tweeted this. I'm going to share this real quick to all the aspiring day traders. And I'm putting this in here because I guess because of COVID and maybe a little bit because of Dave Portnoy, a lot of people are discovering day trading. And so I know there's a lot of people. I get a lot more emails than I used to and so on. There's a lot of people, couple that with, COVID-19, man, if you can learn to make money from home and you're naturally social distanced when you're sitting at home, right? I always joke around. I've been social distancing for, almost 2 decades. I'm a natural social distancer anyway. So it's a great career to be in. So anyway, that kind of inspired this tweet to all the aspiring day traders out there who fantasize about how nice this career could be. I have some advice. Learn a proven process. Actually apply yourself. Take this seriously, which most people don't, by the way. Study hard, which most people don't, by the way. Work your ass off. Again, most people don't. And ask questions. And I would maybe say most people don't to any of those. And it is an amazing, life-changing career. But it's not a casino. And that's why you get, I hate to call him a clown because I think he's really good at reviewing pizzas. I really do. I give him credit for that Portnoy guy. What do they call him? El Presidente? Or anyway. But when it comes to trading, he is kind of a clown because he doesn't care. He's got nothing but money. So he's just out there. It's like a casino to him. And he's amusing. I think he's probably really cool to hang out with. But when it comes to day trading, he is a clown because he's just out there throwing darts. And I don't think it's his intention. But what he's doing is because people are so drawn to him, I think he's probably destroying a lot of people's accounts because they're saying, yeah, he can do it, I can do it. And he has no process whatsoever. So I do think he's probably doing more damage than good, although I don't believe that's his intention. I also think he looks down on people like me that have chosen this career because he thinks there's nothing to it, and anyone can do it. Again, he can lose $1 million every week for a year, and he'd probably still be fine anyway. So keep that in mind. Most of us can't afford to do that. So if you really want to do this, you got to learn a process, and you have to take it seriously. And it's not a casino. I often think if you see an amazing setup, or have you ever seen something that you're thinking about, man, I want to buy this here, right? I want to buy this right at this price, and you don't do it or whatever, or you take it normal size, and then like 3 hours later, the stock has doubled or tripled, and then in your brain, you start thinking, man, if I would have gone full margin, right, everything I've got, and then sold at the top, this literally one trade could have changed my life. Well, again, had you done that, you're not trading, and you're just going to, even if you get away with it and you make a bunch of money, you're just reinforcing a terrible habit. It's not gambling. You can't gamble. So try to catch yourself having those thoughts and then realize you're never going to go all in, double margin, have it work out, and then have it not cost you later, even if it works that time, all right? Because you're reinforcing a terrible habit. So the thing people should really be proud of are the people that do what I do, and that's take calculated risks, knowing where your stop is, and if your stop gets hit, won't hurt you at all, right? It has to be measured. It has to be, there's some science behind it, right? You have to learn a proven process and trade it repeatedly. So the temptation, even if you do everything on that list there, the temptation on a daily basis to go in huge and go for what, quote unquote, the big one is ever present for me, for Wayne, for anyone who's doing this. And I'll tell you what, if you don't ever succumb to that, and you can just say, you know what, slow and steady, I'm going to do the same thing every day. I'm always going to watch, follow my rules and watch my position size and use measured, calculated entries and risk. If you can do that, that's what you should hang your hat on and hold your chin up and say, you know what, 99% of the people out there can't do this, can't do what I'm doing. They don't have the personal discipline to just stay measured and gain some money every day, right? You always want to try to get better, but you can't ever relent. You have to have unrelenting discipline and watch your trading rules and your position size, and you have to watch it every time. And you also have to be good at catching yourself succumbing to that gambling mentality. I feel it slipping in every now and then, right? And I immediately catch myself because that's what you have to do. And the beauty of it is, to me, that's the thing I'm most proud of. That's the thing I'm most proud of, is that I'm steady and I don't gamble. And yeah, I don't have these big 6-figure days that you see people tweeting out, but I also don't have massive days to the downside. And if you've seen my equity curve, it's pretty much new highs in my account every day. Every now and then you'll hear me whining about breaking my rules and I'll have a red day. But for the most part, that's what I'm most proud of, is how steady and disciplined I am. And you learn to hang your hat on that. It feels better because you'll be in the game the rest of your life, where a lot of these people won't. And then one last tweet I got to talk about. I'm just wondering, this has to be a joke, right? I saw a tweet from somebody named John Tory, and he said his Twitter says he's the mayor of Toronto. And he put out a proclamation. He's calling May 28th Menstrual Hygiene Day. And I'm not going to read this, but I'm just hoping this is parody, because I realize that real men are becoming a dying breed. But the thought of, if this is real, a jackass like this being elevated to a position of mayor, I can't get my head around. So I saw that, I took a screenshot, I said, oh, maybe I'm going to throw that in the video. Hopefully someone replies and says, hey, Mike, that was a joke, right? I hope. All right, so the watch list, man, I am almost 10 minutes into the video. I'm just now getting to the watch list. So this is the SPY, the daily, little bit of what they call a shooting star. That doesn't mean anything to me because the SPY never does what I think it's going to do. And so I don't try to gauge the overall market. I just start with a watch list and I trade intraday if I get A+ setups, right? So the market's still overall pretty darn strong, but kind of had an ugly day today. So things I want to watch, ABIO, crazy move today. 99% of the time, something like this won't, well, I shouldn't say that. 76.3% of the time, something like this won't give an A+ setup the next day. But as a day trader, I'm going to watch this for the next several days. Massive move there. Low floater, short squeeze today. TOUR, big volume for the stock, closing in the upper half of its range. So we'll see if we get a red to green or some kind of follow-through day in that one tomorrow. HTBX had the strong move back here, then another strong attempt at these recent highs over the last couple days. Nasty reversal after the gap up yesterday, but then lo and behold, we're right back up near a 2-day high and another potential catalyst right here. So I definitely want to watch this one. Not a huge fan of stocks in that price range. AEMD, a little extra volume today and a little pop. I don't love it, but maybe something's brewing there, so we'll watch that. AIM. This doesn't look like much either. Kind of reminds me of AEMD, but a little bit of extra volume. When you go to intraday, you can see that most of that volume, I got after hours on too. Wow, and after hours it went to 270, even though it closed at 250. So that's not that big a deal. But let me get after hours off there real quick. Come on. Okay, so there you go. So you can see that most of the volume and that move came at the very end of the day. So again, maybe something's brewing there and it's holding up well in after hours. NK, big move yesterday, kind of a quiet inside day on much lower volume today, so maybe a third day play there. MBIO, not in love with this one, but you got a couple red days on very little volume after the big pop here a few sessions ago. Man, I really don't love this list. I'm hoping to catch some nice gappers tomorrow like we did today. ALDX is a little bit interesting. It's just a choppy, look at this big chop for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, but it is kind of interesting if it can break through 5 with fervor. So we're going to watch that one. Couple more. COMM. Nice volume today and a fairly strong close. You can't see it on this chart, but the 200 days up there at 1167. So maybe we get a follow-through day tomorrow. And then SNOA is my last one. In after hours, there's the daily. There's nothing pretty here. You might say, why in the heck is this on his gap play list? I'm sorry, watch list, but I just gave away the answer. It's gapping. In after hours, it's trading at 11 bucks. Now, I think I saw a headline that something like some kind of sanitizer of theirs was approved that kills COVID. Well, so does Lysol, so does vodka, so does Crown Royal. So I don't know if this is going to hold, but sometimes the dumb, and maybe there's another headline, so I'm not sure, but sometimes the dumber the headline, the better the squeeze, because shorts pile in, and if it doesn't roll over, they have to keep covering. So, you know, I'll hang my head on that idea, but I won't trade this unless I get an A+ setup. And I'm going to leave it at that. Really, really great teamwork in the chat room today, and we'll see y'all in the morning.